welcome back to the Mayor Tyler Moore Show here on the Kokomo Post. My name is Drew Larison, and I am so glad to be back. I took a week off, and then the show took a week off. So this is the first time we've done this show with me and MTM in 2 weeks, and I'm very glad to be back. So MTM, Bree filled in for me 2 weeks ago. How'd it go?
Knocked
the
it
show
out of the
was good.
Yep, she did a great job. We were almost going a little long with some of the questions, but it was great conversation.
It's a lot of questions,
fun conversation. Yeah. She did admit that she didn't watch the movie that we had challenged her with.
Yeah, I'm going to dock her pay for that, just so you know. So, Bree, if you see something on your paycheck next time, you know why.
Yeah, and it'll be the truth, and you can't handle the truth. So
there it is.
That was bad.
It works. It's good.
Kind of a lead into my bad dad joke because
we've
been away from that. But no, great time. They again stepped to the plate and delivered. Obviously, she was very busy. She did the Bobcats.
She did a lot. Yeah,
filled in. I mean, we were Bobcat playoff, and unfortunately, they weren't able to make it happen. But what an incredible inaugural season! I mean, we love those guys. We love the excitement that they brought to the city.
Yeah.
We love not just the excitement of the city, but the interaction. I mean, the kids that still see these players, in town at the YMCA in their neighborhoods, at the mall, at stuff. I mean, it's just incredible. And then Coach Livingston as well. Getting involved with the community. I know he and his wife are starting a new program with Pastor Ramon Oglesby with some of the churches called Bridge to Manhood. And so there's going to be more information coming from that. I'm sure Coach will talk about it on the Bobcast, but really excited to see what they're going to be doing for and bringing to the community outside of the season. Yeah,
Coach he's a great guy. Like you said, I've got to know him a little bit more through that Bobcast that we're doing, and I'm hosting that as well with him. And great guy, loves coaching these younger men from basketball, but also just really loves Kokomo. He's really happy he's here and doing really cool things in Kokomo. I know you're talking about the program you're talking about, but they're going to be doing some, I think, summer camps with some of the players this summer.
With some of the schools,
yeah. So that'll be really cool to see. And the league they're in is interesting because we don't know how many are going to be coming back. We don't know if the same players are going to be here next year or some. I have a feeling some are going to come back, and
I bet they would. And that's it too. I mean, the players are encouraged. This is a stage for them to show their stuff to try and get into the NBA. And so the emphasis or encouragement from the basketball league, from Magley and the Magleys, is that these gentlemen are able to advance. And so unfortunately at the end of the season, I think Hawk was out. He was trying out for another league,
a European league.
And so you can't you can't fault the guys for doing this, is what they're aspiring to. But you're right. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how many return, and I think we will see a good portion of them back.
Why I think some are going to be coming back is because of Coach. The kids, I keep calling them kids. They're adults.
Absolutely.
They're younger than me, so I guess anybody younger than me is a kid. But they love their coach. They respect him. I was talking to him one time about so what's it like with Coach? And they're like, he's a guy that's done it.
Yeah.
He's a guy that has hustled and grinded his way through certain European leagues, made it to the NBA, has won national championship. He played with the GOAT, Michael Jordan. So, they really respect him and what he's been able to do in his career, as well as respect him because he's leading a really great team.
And even before that, and I hadn't heard his backstory. There was a procession, a peace walk this past Saturday. Again, the 10 Point Coalition pastors had organized it, and it ended in Foster Park, and they had the stage set up and had some witnesses, and Coach got up and witnessed to his story. He grew up in the streets of San Diego.
Yeah.
He was one of, as self-proclaimed, I'm not calling him this without him knowing it, he was a thug. He was a gangbanger. He was one of these guys that, you didn't want to meet in a dark alley, after dark, and he self-proclaimed, and just how he was able to overcome that, and through the love and guidance of his mother, was able to make something of himself. And obviously he's, again, sharing that with his players and doing that for those kids in our community that need it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So it is sad. My family, we went to that last playoff game here in Kokomo where they lost and were eliminated from the playoffs. And it was sad. I mean, Kokomo was bummed. It was more than just a game. Like, we were really bummed to see the season end. What sucked the most, it was against Indy. You know, it was our rival. And like, I would rather have lost to anybody else, but it was to Indy, which made it so much worse. But congrats to those guys on winning the Midwest Division for the TBL. Hopefully they continue on. I haven't even really paid attention at all since they lost, but I don't know how Indy's doing, if they've played any more games, and hopefully they win it all, because then it's a lot better to say you lost to the champs, than it is to just another team that lost in the playoffs. So that's good to see. Awesome. So we talked about the Bobcats a little bit. Love to see them come back next year bigger, better, and stronger. But I mean, every time on this show we do talk about what's going on at City Hall this week. So tell us a little bit what's going on in the big building downtown.
Okay. A couple weeks ago I mentioned that we were gearing up for budget season. We're getting ready to get knee deep in it. We've got meetings this week with each of the department heads to kind of see where their needs are and what their next year looks like. So those will start. We're also knocking out a handful of resurfacing. Now, a lot of the construction we've talked off and on with other shows. I mean, is what NIPSCO is still continuing to do with the gas lines.
Which I've seen they've started putting some yard signs down in the areas they're working, which you guys at City Hall probably really appreciate that, because it explains like this isn't just repaving or fixing stuff or annoying summer. Right. This is bringing better pipelines to your city. Your water will be better. Your probably bills will be lowered because of it. All of that. So those signs I've seen around, at least in our neighborhood, have been helpful. And a lot of
what they're doing, I mean, even though it's NIPSCO that's contracting the work, they've got two different groups. So you've got, because I know some of the residents, they'll call the email, hey, they're supposed to be fixing this up. When are they going to? So they've got one crew coming in and installing the pipeline as they go section, and then a second crew coming up and cleaning up. And so as much or as quickly as they're laying the gas lines down, the cleanup crew is still playing catch up. So there's a little bit of a
lag,
downtime, a lag. And so appreciate folks' patience with that. Feel free to let us know if they got something closed down or a sign that's in their yard or something that needs more, if they've not been contacted, and we'll keep in touch with them and make sure they're notifying folks and moving as they can. But so that's what's been going on. Obviously, Parks Department has been very busy, still halfway through Kokomo Beach season. That'll go through the first couple weeks in August. Once school starts back up, it'll just be the weekends for a couple weekends.
That's coming so quick.
I know,
by the way,
quick.
We have a kid that'll be starting kindergarten this upcoming year. So the last kid going through kindergarten, and it's coming so fast. Summer is flying by, and it's going to be crazy.
Yep.
So budget seasons. I'm going to try to make that exciting for people watching, because nobody holds on to their seats more when they hear things like budgets. But anything new coming? I mean, the department heads are asking you for certain things. Are there new fun things coming up with these budgets? Or
we talked about the parks, and so a lot of emphasis on Tory Rowe's budget, because with Championship Park now, I know we've talked about the small individual parks being taken over by the city. They were city parks to begin with, but the volunteers in those baseball leagues maintain them. We'll be doing that and looking at a few of those, because they are along the trail, that adding a few amenities to some of those to make them trailheads or destination spots along the trail. So exciting plans coming for those areas. Also the soccer fields, we're going to get down with the Kokomo Soccer Club to see how interested they are, and finally considering a move to that complex and adding a few things there to encourage them to do that. So those are probably the fun things. Everything else is just the boring,
same old.
Tons of asphalt that's going to be put down. What streets are going to be here? Reconstruction there.
How big is that Parks and Rec budget total?
Oh gosh.
Because we have so many parks in this city.
I know.
There's so many parks, and like some are really small and some are big. But like, isn't it a crazy number? It's like 90 something or 40. I don't remember. Whenever I heard it's so many.
Because now we're adding Championship Park in as part of that, and we've still got some of Municipal Stadium. That's terrible. I don't know the exact number. There
was some story not too long ago where they said it, and I was just shocked about how many there are.
Yeah,
I read that number and immediately was not envious of Tory Rowe for being charged of
he's a rock
running
star.
all of those.
He is a rock star.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a great guy. So that's good to see. Something happening this week, other than the exciting budgeting happening at City Hall, is the Howard County 4-H Fair.
You betcha.
So it's obviously not happening in the city of Kokomo. It's out in Greentown, the fairgrounds. But I mean, it's fair season, so there's a lot going on. There's rides, which, dear God, have you seen that video online of that? There's a ride.
Oh, no.
Where was it at? Michigan? Is that where it was? I think it was Michigan, and the ride like literally starts falling apart and tipping over. It was one of those where they go round and round, and like
Hopefully they were just testing it.
no, there were people in there, and like a bunch of crowds had to come and literally hold down the ride. Yeah, it's terrifying to me. I don't want to go on a fair ride. I don't want my loved ones to either, but people love it, so that's good. That's good to hear. But I mean, are there certain things, memories growing up in this area that you just loved about the Howard County 4-H Fair?
I mean, when you got to the age, as a teenager, that you weren't driving yet, but that mom and dad didn't mind driving you out there and just dropping you off for the night.
Yeah,
and then
let you go.
And just
that's true.
And
that's
not
terrifying
really
to think about.
Except socialize. I mean, it was the place to be.
Yeah.
So
no, that's so crazy. Like, as a parent now, I don't know if I could do that and not be there as well. No, that's terrifying. But yeah, there's so much fun stuff going on. But specifically, if we're talking about the fair, we're talking about fair food. And let's go ahead.
Looks like you guys had already made a trip out there.
We
this
went
afternoon.
out. A team went out there today, and I think maybe made some videos while they were out there about a lot of stuff that's going on. But the food.
And when I walked in, and
yeah, there was
guys
like
had
the spread was made
out there. I know you'd already cut into this.
Yeah, I know. It looks weird on camera. I promise. Well, yeah, that looked like the one you were most excited about, so we'll hold that on for last. I mean, so what is all of this? I guess, Aaron, this is a deep fried Oreo, correct? What was the pizza specifically? There's a brick oven, or what is a wood oven pizza? Fire in the Hole is what it was called.
Okay.
Wood fire pizza. So it's onion, horseradish. Is that meat? Prime rib.
Oh.
Now remember, this is Fairgrounds prime rib. This isn't St. Elmo's prime rib, just to keep that in mind. And then we have a frosted flake crusted fried chicken. And you don't see that. That was also on a stick because it's the fair. So everything needs to be on a stick. Mm-hmm. So I want you to try some stuff and then the one he was most excited about.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
I'm not kidding, guys. When he saw this, his face lit up like it was Christmas morning.
I think we've already talked about them. My favorite fair food of all time or summer food, festival food, is a corn dog.
And
so when I saw the size of that, I thought, man, that must be a huge hot dog on the inside of that. But no.
There's a pickle. This is a pickle
hot dog inside
corn
of a
dog.
Pickle, deep fried.
A pickled corn dog? Is that what you call it? A dilly dog is the correct name. Dill pickle. So it's got a hot dog, and then the hot dog is put in the pickle, and then deep fried like a corn dog. So we want to get your opinion on some of this fair food. Is there one you want to start? You want to leave that one for last?
I'm leaving that one for last.
All right, let's start with, have you ever had a deep fried Oreo?
I have not had a deep fried Oreo.
Really? Well, there you go. Let's give it a try. See what MTM thinks about.
No,
you're good. I'm good. So AP Concessions out at the Howard County 4-H Fair. This is a deep fried Oreo, and obviously there's some powdered sugar on top because why not?
Of course, yeah. I mean, if you're going to deep fry something, except for a corn dog, you might as well put powdered sugar on it.
Or maybe powdered sugar on a corn dog would be good. A little sweet and savory. Did I just blow your mind? This is the face that I'm talking. Like, this man gets really excited about fair food. That the innovation that I just gave.
We'll put a little splash of.
All right, so 0 to 10, what would you give the deep fried Oreo?
Deep fried Oreo.
0 out of 10.
A 7.
A strong 7?
Yeah. And I don't know if it's because it's one of those things. Oh, it's better when it's warm.
That's probably true.
Better. Yeah, at the same time, with the deep fried, because it's made its way in from Greentown, the Oreo's soft.
Yeah.
And so,
that's actually. Did you try one fresh when you're out there? Does the Oreo stay crunchy or is it soft?
No, it's like warm cookie dough.
Okay, so it does melt a little bit anyhow. So yeah, I was going to say that's what it is. It's that deep chocolate cookie dough.
It's like the lava, it gets gooey on the inside.
Yeah, so I think it.
All right, so 7 out of 10
that it softened up.
7 out of 10 on the deep fried Oreo. Let's go to the horseradish prime rib pizza from Fire in the Hole, which is a wood fire pizza place at the fair.
That looks really good too.
There's mashed potatoes on the
pizza.
That's the most important part. Like the most. Okay, so all right, red onion, horseradish sauce, prime rib, and mashed potatoes all on a wood-fired pizza crust.
This is funny.
Oh, there's cheese too.
I'll wait because this would be a good lead into the movie that I'm gonna do this week too.
Nice. Now I'm curious what the movie is. There's mashed potatoes.
There is mashed potatoes on that. That's like
Oh, they make it to order. Oh wow. Okay.
oh really?
In the oven, it takes and they like.
Yeah.
That is actually
That's
fun.
probably like they're glutton for punishment. Those people, like you are a summer fair business, but you put a
Made to
wood
order?
fire oven inside your. That's so hot.
I would think so.
You realize how so much?
And
Oh,
it
they
was mobile?
sweat so much. That's crazy. Do they have other stuff than pizza, or is it just pizza? Okay.
Now see,
I wonder if a breadstick would be good or something like that. in the
this
wood
is
fire.
great because I'm sure it was great when it was hot out of the oven. I mean, because it's,
feel like
it's
it keeps-
the meal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would be just as happy as I am now.
Are you a
sitting
cold
on the
pizza
side-
guy?
I'm a cold pizza guy,
Yeah, me
and this is
too.
a fun cold pizza
I
spread.
love a good cold pizza. I know that's weird and probably against
The mashed
laws.
potatoes.
All right, same thing. 0 out of 10. What are you giving the mashed potatoes, prime rib, red onion, cheese, and a horseradish sauce?
That's a great combination. I'm going to give it a 9
Wow!
because I think I'm
Fire in the hole. You just gained some business.
I'm pretty sure that if this was hot, it would be an
just
easy
amazing.
9.
What other flavors did they have? You call it flavors? I guess I don't know what else you call it. Just like some classic. Were there any other weird ones?
There were some weird ones that I put back a lot.
Okay. Yeah, so
fun.
check that out at the Howard County Fair.
Okay.
Next thing up, this is really interesting. The frosted
know.
flake crusted fried chicken. Like I said, now it's still out there. It's on a stick just as big as that corn dog stick. So this is
sure.
an insane amount of fried chicken that you're getting on this thing.
And you don't have it, but there's a honey sriracha sauce.
Oh, wow. That would... Look at this
Oh.
face. Yeah. This
The
guy's a
honey
foodie.
sriracha,
I like
honey
this.
sriracha.
All right, so give that a try. Yeah. I heard the crunch. You probably did in the
Definitely
mic, too.
the crunch.
Little ASMR going on with this podcast. Love to see it.
That's really good. I'm a frosted
I'm guessing
Flakes
it's chicken
fan
breast.
anyhow,
Yeah.
but a lot of times the best thing about
Who
having
isn't a frosted... Like, it's such a
fried
classic
chicken?
cereal.
is just the breading. So because this fell off,
Well, it's chicken breast, too, so there's no skin. So, like, that has to really be crispy
Oh,
on the
yeah.
outside.
all
All right, 0 out of 10. Now remember, so the Oreo was a 7, pizza was a 9. That kind of surprised me actually.
Mm-hmm.
The fried chicken, frosted flake, crusted fried chicken. What are you giving it?
I'd give that an 8 as well.
An 8.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's really good because again, being a frosted flake fiend, I enjoy that breading, but I bet that honey sriracha sauce drizzled
Would be really good.
Good,
It's a little spicy
getting
sweet.
a hand right from Aaron. Okay,
When I was in Florida, we went to one of our favorite restaurants, and they do something brilliant that if you're a fish fan, they fry a whole fillet of fish the same way you would do coconut shrimp. So it's like coconut crusted fish. Blew my mind. It's so good.
cool.
It was so good, but it reminded me of that because the coconut was kind of sweeter.
Well, yeah.
It was a little sweeter, like on the fry. It was so good.
You're right. That is almost like the coconut crust.
Yeah, yeah. That's made me think of it. Yeah. All right. So the last,
Okay.
but definitely not least, the one we've been waiting on. This is the dilly
dilly
dog, which is a hot dog stuffed inside of a giant dill pickle
my gosh.
and then fried like a corn dog. Now, a normal corn dog, you're a ketchup and mustard
I'm a
guy,
ketchup
I
and
learned.
mustard, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a ketchup and
But with
mustard.
this, would you put any sauce on this or is this good on its own?
I have a feeling it's going to be good on its own.
You know what I would recommend on this if we had it? And we're in Indiana. Imagine ranch on that. You're dipping that in ranch, a little pickle, hot dog,
Yes.
fried. Like a good, maybe a little spicy ranch could be
Yes.
really good on that. But anyway, let's give it a try. The one you've been waiting on, the dilly dog. That was a bite, by the way. That was a bite if I've ever seen a bite.
Oh my gosh.
I heard it, guy. I mean, 0
my
to
God.
10, I think I'm going to know the score.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
I mean,
Oh man.
you've
gonna
left
leave
the
here
man
and I'm gonna
speechless.
drive out there and get one
Get one fresh.
because I mean, corn dogs are my
They are
summer
so
staple.
good.
Well, not even a summer staple. I mean,
It's just so good. That's the name of the truck?
Giant Corn Dog
Giant Corn
Factory.
Dog Factory.
the dilly dog.
The dilly dog from the Giant
Oh,
Corn Dog
man.
Factory. How's the pickle?
The pickle's still surprisingly still crunchy.
Okay.
I think that's part of the fun.
I was curious about that too. After it goes into a fryer and heat, you know.
I'm sure some people, it's a texture thing, but no, that's a great. I mean, a great.
Did you like it?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Yes. See, definitely a crowd pleaser.
So what are you giving it? 0 out of 10?
Oh, a 10.
It's a 10.
It's a 10.
We got a 10.
That's a hands down 10.
Wow. I can't
wait to get out there.
It is the perfection of food. Now, we joked about it, but a little powdered sugar on it, what would that do?
I think it'd be fun. Like you said, sweet and savory. I didn't get, because
It's a flavor profile, sweet and savory. You got to. He thinks it'd be fun. I love that answer. That's good.
it didn't fall, so I had to rub
We
it.
need to call the first
Or
lady.
the little powdered sugar rub.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll call the first lady of
yeah.
Kokomo. This is what dinner is tonight, probably. Did you just come up with dinner plans?
I didn't, because fortunately I didn't get home at lunch to put chili on. Sorry, hon.
Oh!
So we're going to the fair.
Love that.
Oh, man.
What's a normal dinner at the Moore House? Do you cook? Do you like to cook?
I love to cook.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Do you have any specialties?
I've been knocking out of the park lately with my lasagna.
Really?
Yeah, the kids are like, hey, did that gun fixed it or Dad fixed lasagna? I'm like,
Do you have any like special? I mean, I don't want to give away your tips or anything like that, but I mean, is there a reason it's good?
I don't know.
I
didn't think so, but
My wife makes an unreal lasagna, and like she goes the extra mile. She makes the sauce homemade, like the meat sauce for everything. Is good. Not gonna lie. Maybe we'll have a lasagna off one day with the mayor of Kokomo. That'd be fun. We could have a lasagna off. All right. So if you're interested, there's a little bit. I'm guessing there are. I mean, so many food trucks out at the fair this year. So if you're interested, there's a little taste of what we got. We had the fried Oreo, the prime rib pizza, the frosted flake chicken, and the dilly dog. So that's exciting to see. Yeah, we'll make it out there.
Very much.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's so much of it. They brought back a lot. So that was great to see. And I'm guessing you can watch the Kokomo Post this week for a bunch of fair food content. So we're going to be trying it, reviewing it, getting it all out there. So that's good to see if you're interested in going to the fair. I think we're going at some point this week. I'm not a big fair guy. Yeah. I don't know. It's hot.
Crowds of people.
It's so hot. Yeah. So I don't know. And it, like late at night, you've ever heard somebody say like they get hangry?
Yes.
Where like you get angry if you're really hungry. I'm not that. I am, instead of when I'm hungry, it's when I'm tired and I'm not in a comfortable place. I just become not a great person. And like that's when I get angry. So like late night at the fair, dealing with kids running around, it's hot, I'm sweaty, probably feeling like garbage from eating garbage food. Like that's not my favorite thing in the world, but I think we'll go at some point. So that was good. That was good. Glad we could supply you a late lunch today. All right, so let's dive into the Ask the Mayor segment, which we do this every week, which is great. We've got some good questions this week as well, as we always do. So if you're interested in asking a question for the show, make sure to leave a comment on our Facebook page, maybe on this video or some other post, maybe write in a message to Instagram, Facebook, on our website, however you can get a hold of us. We'd love to get some questions from you, and if it's a good enough question, maybe you'll end up on the show. So the first one we got today is from Aaron on Facebook, and it is, what does it take to get weekly, not bi-weekly curbside recycling?
Better practices.
How long have we had bi-weekly? Or is that bi-monthly?
Since its inception. No, it's
What's
every,
the difference?
every other week.
Yeah, it's every other week now. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay.
Since its inception, and that was, has it been 6 years now? 6, 7 years?
Has it really been that long?
So
Wow.
yeah, so I mean, part of it is the wear and tear on the trucks, and because people aren't as avid recyclers as they are rubbish creators.
Yeah, sure. Rubbish.
Then that's the. I mean, the I guess the balance there, but because there are folks that are intentional recyclers and avid recyclers, they do have or would like to see weekly, because I mean, even in our house, we end up sometimes having more recycling than we do
absolutely
trash.
Well, it's freaking Amazon, man.
Yeah.
We buy so much stuff from Amazon, and every cardboard that comes in from anything you buy online, there's so much of it.
Yeah. But unfortunately, there are areas in the city where instead of recycling, folks are like, hey, I got a second trash tote. And so they throw trash in with the recycling. The trucks come through, pick up the recycling, thinking that it's all just recyclable materials, get it to the intake center, and end up finding out that it's trash, it's compromised load, it just goes to the landfill anyhow. So until we, I guess, do a better job educating or encouraging and such, and getting folks to be more responsible recyclers, then the every other week is probably best. And I mean, especially in areas that folks are really good at and intentional. So
that makes sense.
Now, obviously, using the blue tote as a secondary trash tote, we do get a lot of calls, people calling in, hey, can we get a second trash tote? And a lot of this depends on household. So we have very few, because we've not, the city has not ordered more replacement trash totes in years. They're still going through its surplus, and so they're kind of selective on where they go. So some folks are able to, because in a lot of times too, they can purchase one. Especially if somebody moves out, and for whatever reason, people move out and they take their tote with them, which I don't get, so maybe they end up, with the second one at their new place, or it's a renter, and for whatever reason, when they leave their rental unit, they take the trash tote with them, and there's the landlord stuck with that one, and they've got to purchase another one. So there is a select few who are not as willing to sell them because of the inventory, but again, it depends on the size of the household, and the amount of potential trash they may have.
Can someone, if they qualify or not, are they able to purchase a second one, maybe for the recycling or the trash?
We've not had anybody ask for a second recyclable one, but that would be, I'm sure we'd be, because we got.
That'd be interesting. Oh, you have
so
a lot.
Many more, recyclables.
Where do you keep those at?
Out at the
should you tell people? Could maybe they'll go try to steal them?
The light blue recyclable ones are at the recycling center there on Market Street.
Okay.
And so we've got those, but ironically, I don't think we've had anybody call and say, hey, I mean, unless, again, they've moved, taken one, it's been damaged or something.
Sure.
But absolutely. The trash totes, I think the city still charges $90 for a replacement or for a second one, but again, are pretty selective on those just because.
So even if somebody's buying it, they're still selective on who can buy it? Got it.
We still want it based on household.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I don't know if we should, get a second recycling or maybe just stop buying so many things online. Either way could probably solve that problem. Next question is from Brett on Facebook. What's up, Brett? What steps is the city taking to help encourage new businesses to come to Kokomo?
We're working closely with Charlie Sparks and the Alliance. The city has a development department. Jenny Jordan is the development director and has a team that does do outreach and helps with grants and such and other programs and everything. So outside of reaching out, we are constantly making contact with some of the either stores that would like to potentially invest, again, making ourselves available and working with the Alliance as they reach out to site selectors and such that may look at the area. But I mean, really, a lot of it is because there are certain areas or certain things that companies may be looking for. Sometimes it's just having our ducks in a row, so when somebody would call and inquire about something. But we try to be intentional as much as we can, especially when there's a need. I know there's still a need for, in my opinion and many others, a grocery on the north end. Yeah. And so we've still been trying to reach out to grocers. Now the pandemic put a lot of things on hold as well. With folks wanting to expand or
people are investing a lot less,
right? Yeah, and especially with companies doing a lot more or still doing a lot of remote working and such. So there are some companies even downsizing. So just making ourselves available and watching for those that may be expanding or looking into our area and keeping close ties again with Charlie Sparks, and then he's got his finger on the pulse with the state.
Love that. Thanks for the question, Brett. Next
Brett.
one up is Allie from Facebook. I've noticed they are working to extend the walking/biking trails through the city. How far are they hoping to go, and will the new extensions be done?
Right now, the only extension that we are waiting to complete is just the short stint from Markland, diagonal southwest across Dixon to Deffenbaugh Street. That's the only area of that line that the city still owns, our desire, and we've been in contacts with the railroad company to extend that trail past Deffenbaugh into Clinton County. And so we're working closely with the county on trying to get the rail company to sell that line to us so that we can do that. And again, working with the folks in Clinton County and in Frankfort as well. So that would be our next desire. We're going to plan a little short stint just south and east underneath 931 there by what used to be the Moose Lodge and down over to Hampton Inn and such. I mean, to then work our way back up along 931 to connect those neighborhoods. But again, owning the rail line is still owned by the railroad company, continuing southeast. So that may be our future that way.
That's right next to what it became one of my favorite Mexican places in Kokomo. It was this place called Monterey. And they're a mystery because they just closed. Well, they put a sign on their door as well as online and said, like, we're remodeling, which, by the way, they had just remodeled the whole place. We're remodeling. We'll be back in 3 weeks. Never saw them again. Ghosted the entire city of Kokomo. And it was really good. We love that place. It's still crazy always to walk in there and, like, it's not Damon's because that's what it was when I was growing up. But anyway, Monterey, are you okay? Are you out there somewhere? I hope you're okay. We miss you. Next question is from Caitlin on Facebook. We've done a great job expanding the sidewalks. Finally, IUK students living near campus can safely walk for groceries. Have you given any thought to sidewalks down Boulevard to Highland Park? There's currently no way for students on campus or those in campus housing to safely access the park via walking or biking. Sidewalks have been asked a few times.
Right.
Yeah.
So the little, the kind of snake S curve from La Fountain along Boulevard up to Washington.
To Highland, yeah.
Because I know there's that sidewalk there from Washington over to Webster to get to the park. But I don't know that we had I know there aren't plans at this point about a sidewalk along Boulevard between La Fountain and Washington, but again, as the campus continues to gain population and interest, I know we've got the sidewalks. I think it runs along Washington up to Boulevard and down. So from La Fountain over will be an issue, but getting it from campus up to Washington to get to the park, we'll keep working on it.
Sidewalks are tough too, and I think you said this before. It's one thing if it's in like in a downtown square area where where they've been there for forever, but when you're adding new sidewalks into area and technically land of citizens that it's new, it's a hard thing to do. But you're right, IUK is
because in some areas the city already has a dedicated easement that we can go in and put those. But if there's not that ownership or that dedicated easement already, then you got to work with the property owner.
Yeah, and it can be difficult.
Permission.
Yeah, permission, and then who's paying for it and everything like that. But IUK is growing at a crazy rate, faster than it's probably ever grown. And the last question kind of has similar to do with it, but I mean, you've seen a lot of kids, especially with COVID, they're wanting a smaller campus. They don't want to be on a large campus just to be safe from COVID. And IUK is growing tremendously from that. I probably about once a week I hear about a student, because we do a lot of internships through both of the companies we have here, and there are so many kids that are moving from Indianapolis or even from Bloomington to come to IUK because it's just a more intimate, smaller campus. So that's a great thing to see. Next question is from Josh on Facebook. What is your thought process on creating city proclamations?
Okay, so
how does that work?
And we get requests for those a lot. I mean, usually it's for a special occasion, a milestone year in maybe a movement or recognition for a particular group of individuals. I know through the pandemic or every year we do. I mean, there's one for first responders. There's Mental Health Awareness Month. There's Black History Month. We did one recently, Juneteenth. We did the Pride Day. I did one this afternoon for Ruth Lawson. It's actually CAM Founders Day. So CAM Coordinated Assistance Ministries. They were founded 28 years ago, and they decided to make this their Founders Day because it's Dr. Ruth Lawson's birthday. So
Happy birthday, by the way.
And so what typically happens, because those are actions that I get to make and not necessarily have to take it before the council, occasionally do. Usually I get a request, either verbal, written, emailed, and then give that consideration. And again, a lot of times it's because it is a proclamation, it doesn't provide any law. It's not a passed ordinance.
Sure.
It's not, providing any other
not a lot of red tape,
rights, privileges, rules. I mean, I can't do. I mean, if kids want to, school off day, I make a proclamation of the days.
There you go.
Snow day in Kokomo, and then they get the day off. I mean, it's nothing like that. But usually, it's again to make the community aware of a particular group, a particular time, a particular milestone day or anniversary day, to just not. And I know the one recently with Pride Day. I mean, it's more. It was to get to make sure that the community remains to be welcoming and accepting and such. It wasn't again saying that one group's better than another or that anyone. It's just a reminder that that group, just like we did with Juneteenth, it's a day that they recognize as a significant day in a movement that they have in their mission and such. And so proclamations, again, at my discretion, are done typically or in response to a request that's made for a group or group of individuals to be recognized or to celebrate a particular milestone.
Sure. Do you ever get any pushback on like some decisions you make for certain proclamations?
Yeah, I mean, there's you're going to get some that say, I mean, I think in one of them, I don't even remember who the gentleman was, and he goes, "Oh, what about this group of people? I mean, you're doing a proclamation, for this day or whatever. What about us? Don't forget us." And it's one of those. Well, I mean, it's not that anybody's trying to forget somebody else or whatever. So you're going to get, I mean, just like anything else, any law or ordinance that gets passed, any decision you can make. I mean, we can pave one street, and even though that person may take that street on their way home, as soon as they make the corner, they're like, "Oh, you paved up to here. Why didn't you pave over here?"
Sure.
I mean, so it's,
Are you saying people can be difficult sometimes?
No, not difficult. Just emotional.
Okay. Well, if somebody does want to request one, how do they get a hold of you? I know you give your phone number out, but I mean,
the same way they can call up and schedule a time to come in and meet. I mean, a lot of times, groups will send representatives in and sit down and say, "Hey, this is what we'd like, and here's why," and such. There are others that send emails and say, "Hey, this is what we'd like, this is why," and there's a little bit of an exchange. No, I don't necessarily throw proclamations out for everything, and because you still got.
Could I get one?
Somewhat selective, yes.
Oh, there you go. See, it's that easy. If you want your own proclamation for the city of Kokomo, we'll talk about it afterwards and see what we can come up with. This last question.
Dilly Dog Day.
Dilly Dog Day. Yeah, that'd be fun. Everybody has to eat a dilly dog. The last one's interesting. It's actually from one of my kids. His son is with my son at school, and they're kind of best friends forever, so we've got to know each other a little bit. And he asked me this actually before I left for Florida. And no, Roger, I have not forgotten. I'm asking your question now because I wanted to ask this. Sorry, Bree, but selfishly, I wanted to ask this when I was on the show. So he says, question from an MTM show. Our world is moving towards a more remote working, allowing people to move from larger cities to more rural environments with lower cost of living. I believe Kokomo is an interesting option for those who want to live in Indy, but don't want to move too far away from family or friends. Are there any specific plans to attract workers from Indianapolis who may work remote, but don't want to move too far away?
Absolutely. Yes. And so a lot of what we try to do is do the quality of place. I mean, really it's continue to have events and make sure that they're marketed. I mean, our summer concert series, our Kokomo bikes, the Bobkats, the Jackrabbits. I mean, everything that we can package, we rely on the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Sherry Matlock does a great job doing that. And so working with her to get the word out again, working with the Chamber and Charlie Sparks through the Alliance, making those opportunities known to some of the corporations, that even those that are based here and have folks that live either in Carmel, Hamilton County, Noblesville, Miami County,
Sure, yeah.
Other places, to say, hey, Kokomo is a great place, and you could be home now. So yes, we're constantly through the development department looking for ways to market and to reach employers, to try and entice them, to encourage employees, or to reach the employees to see if they would, because you're right, with 31 in place now, I mean, a lot of folks can get from Kokomo to the north side of Indianapolis in 35 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So,
no, one specific family I know that did this, they're friends of Pam's, which you guys know Pam from the Kokomo Post. They lived in Indianapolis. I think, maybe Indianapolis, not just a suburb either. Very expensive cost of living, which is much different than like the fantasy real world of Kokomo that I call it, because it's so much less to live in Kokomo than other places. They went fully remote. Their jobs did during 2020. Sure. They bought some farmland out in Greentown. He's working remote, and she is actually starting her own flower farm in Greentown. Perfect. So I mean, like this is really happening. People are moving to more rural areas. I don't know if I'd call Kokomo a rural area, but like smaller towns. One, just because it's less chaotic. You're not worried about big city life problems here, and it's a lot cheaper to live here, but we do have so many great amenities in Kokomo as well. So I think there's a lot in the city, and like you said, the Visitors Bureau, and hopefully we turn those visitors into residents with this. But we've got a lot going on, and hopefully we're trying to attract those people.
And part of the key too is make sure that housing is available as well. I mean, we've got
exactly.
The development downtown, but then also I think we've got 3 or 4 housing additions that are looking to do their next phases now. So we've got
that's awesome
houses being constructed.
Yeah, because I mean, there's definitely a shortage of homes. Yep. It's nuts, the real estate world right now when it comes to residential. It's crazy how quickly homes are going, how they're going so much more or so much higher than asking price, and it's a crazy thing. And if that's ever a sign that we need more homes being built, and a lot of people, they talk about, well, why does Kokomo need another apartment complex? Because those are popping up a lot. I'm like, people are needing places to live.
They want to live here.
They want to live here. Like there's a housing shortage, so they'll take an apartment. 306 is doing well when no one thought they would be doing well. These all apartments going on downtown are doing well. I mean, there's a wait list in a lot of these places. So I mean, I think there's a big stereotype with Kokomo people too when it comes to apartments, that it's not nice, it's not a good place to live, and that's not true. Go to any other thriving city in their country right now, not just in Indiana, and apartments are extremely common. So that's why they're being built, and they're doing well. So great, Roger. I was here for that question. I was glad I could. Great question. Hopefully we could keep seeing more and more of that for Kokomo. All right, moving on. Last segment, as always, is Movies with the Mayor. And unlike Bree, I will watch the movie you're about to recommend to me. So tell me, you said you've definitely got it on your mind, and something about the prime rib sandwich, I believe.
The Fire in the Hole pizza reminded me of,
this could be dangerous,
the chewing gum that Baruka chewed in the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And she's like, that's roast beef, mashed potatoes, blueberry pie. It's like a whole meal. That pizza was like Baruka's gum, or
it's
Willy
like
Wonka's gum.
Everything in a prime rib meal in one bite.
Pizza. Yep.
Love that.
So,
Willy Wonka, nice.
And with this summer being the 50th anniversary.
We've talked about Willy Wonka, right?
I think we have.
We were talking about Johnny Depp, and he was obviously in the remake.
Yep.
And I think my point to you was like, they did it right. Johnny did not try to be Gene Wilder. He kind of like recreated the Willy Wonka character, because no one could recreate what Gene Wilder did for that role of Willy Wonka. Awesome. Good.
So,
I'll watch that one with my kids. What I'm looking forward to is seeing if I still get freaked out by the boat tunnel scene. because nothing terrified me more as a kid than the faster and faster and fast. And like that, to this day, I have terror dreams of that scene. Creep me out. But I'll definitely watch that. I'll watch that with my kids. I don't know if they've seen that yet. I don't know if they've seen the original
Perfect.
Willy Wonka.
Perfect.
I don't even think they've seen the remake either. So that could be a good family movie night. There we go.
you go.
Awesome.
Love
well,
it.
thank you for watching this episode
Thanks,
of the
Al.
Mayor Tyler Moore Show. What? Oh, sorry, dad joke. Sorry, dad joke's never on my list. I forget about it. So
real
MTM,
quick.
you've got a dad joke for us.
Dad joke. What do you? Oh, going with the dog. What do you call a dog with no legs?
I'm unfortunate. I'm not
Anything
sure.
you want, he still won't come to you.
Oh, it's sad.
I know it is kind of sad.
Kind of dark, actually. It's one of those dad jokes
I
where
know,
at the table,
sorry
like,
for all you dog
oh,
lovers."
Dad.
I know.
I'm like
sorry, all you dog
staring at
lovers.
my dog out the office window right now. That's
Oh,
sad.
poor thing.
Okay, well, that ends on a weird note. Thank you for watching this episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show. We hope you enjoyed it. Like I said before, if you ever have any questions you want to ask for the Ask the Mayor segment, make sure to leave them in a comment below. And if it's a good one, we'll put it on the show. That's a joke, by the way. I mean, we're probably going to put your question. There's not good questions. I mean, it's a joke. Don't get too, hurt in the comments. Leave a comment below if you have a question. We love answering those questions. And make sure to check out the fair. Make sure to try a dilly dog and
the
some fire in the
pizza.
hole stuff and the classics like the deep fried Oreo. We'll see you guys later, and maybe at the fair we'll see you, but we'll definitely see you next week on the MTM show.
Bye, all.